Yeah, 2014 looks a little bit different. Hey everyone, my name is Americ and welcome to a brand new review for The Mentalist Season 6, Episode 11, titled White Lines. You know you have it. I know, I really should not be singing this song. Very inappropriate, Americ. Now, before I start, as you can notice, there's something a little bit different. Something a little bit different about where I am, and because I'm out of town this week, I had to shoot in a different setting. But next week, we'll be back to normal, all right? We'll be back to normal. But for now, we're going to have a seat and actually talk about this episode. It's going to be strange, but let's just go with it. So, before we delve into what worked and didn't work in this episode, let's talk about the story. In White Lines, the FBI is trying to find who killed several DEA agents. Turns out it was this evil, blonde mastermind who decided to just kill all these agents, and Patrick pretended to date her and finally unmasked her, and that's how she got caught. And that was the story. Now, let's delve into what worked. Patrick is a player. I gotta say, I know that he was pretending, but Patrick's got game, man. I mean, you cannot knock Patrick's game, and he was on point. He got it good. So yeah, good on him. I loved the lightness in this episode. I thought that there was a lot of humor throughout, from the banter with the couch discussion and Cho and Jane. It's just, there was a lot of just fun. It wasn't the funnest. I know that's not a real word, but whatever. It wasn't the funnest Patrick has ever been with everyone else. He wasn't really up to his usual shenanigans, but I like the whole just lightness in this episode. It was kind of nice. I kind of liked it. And you're also noticing a little bit more of the team dynamics emerging, and that's kind of cool. The fact is, Cho is way more in charge now, and Lisbon is a little bit more laid back, sort of going with the flow, not being boss lady as much. And I'm starting to get a sense of who Kim really is. It's weird to say, but I think Kim is us. She's the audience. She's asking all the basic questions that, Van Pelt was asking in season 1 of The Mentalist. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And why are you thinking this way? She's sort of asking all these basic questions that we, as the audience, are asking about this sort of new version of The Mentalist. So I kind of see where she fits now. I'm seeing a little bit more of who Kim is in this just setup. And reintroducing our lightning round in terms of not big things, but sort of small things I liked in this episode. Kim apologizing for lying to Jane. Yeah, Kim, you should apologize, because it was really mean. Kim and Jane discussing FBI couch regulations. I have to say, that was just, oh my god, that was funny. I mean, it just sounded so accurate somehow. Don't you think that there are actually FBI couch regulations? I'm sorry, the thought just... funny. Jane guessing that the Mr. X was actually a Miss X because, according to him, there is no such thing as a man without an ego. And I have to agree. Everybody's got an ego. Every man's got an ego. Except me. I'm perfect. I have no ego. Maybe. Cho telling Jane that he's a terrible communicator. I agree. Jane is a terrible freaking communicator. But I love that banter. Just walking away with this wet floppy clothes. I'm gonna catch a cold. Well, you should have communicated, Jane. You should have communicated. Just saying. Now on to what didn't work. You know what? The fact that they revealed the evil mastermind early on in the episode, sort of, it wasn't that big of a deal. But what I did not like is that the evil mastermind was actually not so much a mastermind and more of like an evil dumbass. Let's think about it this way. They established at the beginning of the episode that Mr. X, turns out Miss X, was this organized, disciplined individual. But let's just go through all the different things that this organized, disciplined individual did. Number one, killed DEA agents because they did their jobs. I'm sorry, what? How is that smart in any way, shape, or form? I mean, that's criminal 101. You do not go and shoot the police because they shoot back and they do not miss. I'm just saying. Also, how does she do this whole thing? She wants to do this by setting up these guys. So she goes to the DA office, scopes out all the cameras, but leaves one so that it can capture the criminals in action. Then in that case, why do you go and look at the freaking camera? Not really smart. I just don't, that's not smart. Not smart at all. Also, she tries to set up this Perez guy by calling 911 and having her goon just set up the crime scene. Okay, so far, I'm cool with that. What I'm not cool with is the fact that when she called 911, her call was recorded. So, not really smart. That's not really smart. And her goon, who's setting up the crime scene, leaves his prints everywhere. He leaves it on the window, leaves it at the door. What was up with that? Heck, the only smart thing she did was date Patrick Jane. Speaking of, so what was Jane's plan exactly? He kind of figured out who she was from the get-go. So he wanted to date her so that she could incriminate herself? And he could jump in the water? Was that his plan? Because I don't think that was a good plan, if that was his plan. Felt like he was more dating her just because. I mean, there was no point in him dating her. Like, literally nothing was learned or gained or achieved in any way, shape, or form from him dating her. So, didn't quite get that part of the episode. Just so that we're fair, I'm also going to add a little bit of a lightning round for what didn't work in this episode. I do not freaking like the new Mentalist intro music. It's just not working for me. I want the old one. Look, I'm all about change, all right? You don't want to talk about Red John, that's fine. You want to change how you title your episodes, that's fine. You want to change how you format the show and the characters, that's fine. But you keep the theme music the same. Just keep it the same. Keep it the same. Apparently I have issues. Also, if you don't want us to talk about Red John anymore, stop referencing Red John in Previously On and also throughout the episode and saying, oh my god, you killed him? Oh, I wonder who you're talking about. I'm just saying, you don't want us to talk about Red John and think about Red John, you want us to move on? Stop bringing him up. I'm just saying. Also, I like the fact that they brought Wile E. Coyote back in this episode, but he was not funny at all. He was just super serious. It was kind of boring. I want funny Wiley back. I want quirky, funny Wiley back in the whole mix. What did I think of this episode overall? I kind of liked it. I mean, it wasn't a perfect episode. Clearly, there were some issues with it, especially with the villain and Patrick's plan, but it was a nice little start for 2014, and I can't wait for more. That is what I thought of this episode. What did you think of this episode? Comment below and let me know. And of course, if you like this video, make sure to hit that like button. If you're new and you want to see more of this, and sort of keep in mind that this is not the usual setup. We usually have a different or elaborate. No, not really. Is it elaborate? It's a different setup. It's a different setup. Subscribe. That would be nice. That'd be great. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye. Yo, I gotta say, sitting down has its perks when you're doing a review. You can have drinks and just be, drinking stuff. It's kind of nice. Ew.